Welcome to Los Angeles, California, often referred to as the gang capital of the world, made famous by Hollywood, of course. But to my surprise, the first gang in Los Angeles wasn't the Crips, or the Bloods, or the Hispanic gangs of Los Angeles. Not the Avenues, the Slawsons, or the Businessmen. Not even the Black Panthers who started in the 1960s. The first gang in Los Angeles started in the 1940s when America was slowly getting rid of segregation. The gang was called the Spook Hunters. The Spook Hunters were a white supremacist youth gang out of Southern California, primarily Southgate and Compton, California. The Spook Hunters kind of remind me of my favorite movie called The Outsiders. A teen gang called the Greasers get into it with the rival gang called the Socials. I actually really like that movie. The Spook Hunters were in Southgate, Huntington Park, Linwood, and Compton, California. Compton in the 1940s was a typical American town made up predominantly of white residents, with famous people like President George Bush Sr. and George Bush Jr. The Great Migration was one of the largest movements of people in the United States. Historically, approximately 6 million black people moved from the American South to the Northwest, Midwest, and Western states, roughly from the 1910s to the 1970s. Which brings us back to these guys, the Spook Hunters. In a movie called Gang Boy, which depicts life in the 1940s.
The symptom of a sickness in society. We'll get up tonight.
There's a story white Los Angeles tells about itself. It's the one where the suburbs were peaceful, the streets were safe, and the neighborhood was nice back when people knew how to behave. It's a myth preserved in real estate listings and Facebook nostalgia. And it collapses the moment you mention the Spook Hunters. In the 1940s and 50s, long before white flight became an official demographic trend, the Spook Hunters patrolled places like Southgate, Huntington Park, Linwood, and Compton, not as a street gang in the modern sense, but as a racist youth militia. Their mission was simple: keep black people out through intimidation, assault, and terror.
But the and the violence with which Comptonites protected the whiteness of their neighborhood was much more acute than you would have found in the city of Los Angeles, for example. Racially restrictive covenants in Los Angeles and other major American cities really began in the late 19-teens and early 1920s. And they're absolutely a response to the increasing black population in all American cities. Many people are familiar with the so-called Great Migration that occurs during World War I, in which blacks begin to really take northern and western cities much more seriously as a place of residence. In Los Angeles, the move of African Americans is really quite slow until World War II. But nonetheless, the population increases just enough by the 19-teens that white homeowners become very concerned that their property values are going to decline as a result of the black influx. There's a curious thing about this, and that is this. Whites believed then, and I think now, that the arrival of black people in the neighborhood will lower property values. And the really troubling reality is that that is true. The arrival of black people does usually lower property values, but not, of course, because of any material difference, but simply because real estate's all about perception. In fact, if you looked at the FHA, Federal Housing Administration studies during World War II, they actually found that blacks defaulted at a lower rate on their mortgages than whites did. But it doesn't matter, and they even had an anecdotal study in LA that was kind of colorful that talked about the extent to which blacks planted more flowers and maintained their gardens in better condition than whites did. But of course, real estate's never really about true value, it's about perceptual value.
So when you look at the modern day gang, you have to ask yourself a question. Who are they imitating? Who are they trying to be like? First gang in Los Angeles was the Spook Hunters. So when you look in the mirror, ask yourself that question. Am I trying to be like the Spook Hunters?